everyone, welcome to today's video. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. We're starting our walk on Broadway Avenue and Yonge Street, and we are walking on the east side of the street, and we are going to be walking northbound. When I left home it was about +1. There is a wind chill, so it does make it a bit cooler. And I'm in full winter gear today because first of all, I get cold easily, but also it's crisp outside. Got my winter coat on, got like fall waterproof boots on. I'm actually wearing earmuffs. So this is not atypical weather for April. April is known to get these little visits from winter. Winter is a little bit reluctant to leave in Canada. But that's okay. It's a beautiful day. And frankly, I am enjoying today's weather. I think maybe it's more of a change from the weather we've been having, which seems a bit drab to me, but I do like today's day. It's crisp and it has memories of winter. Not that memories are that far away. Winter just ended, or maybe this is just like phase 2. So I didn't do much yesterday. I was in the house all day, so I thought I better... Oh, look at these gorgeous dogs. Look at the little fashion statement coat that dog is wearing. Yeah, so I thought I better get out today and get some fresh air. I wasn't a complete vegetable yesterday. I did do yoga in the morning. If you guys are interested in a good YouTube yoga channel, the one that I really like, there's a few of them, but the one that I really like is Yoga with Adrien. She's really super good. I really like her. And I find that her voice is very calming. She's very thorough with instructions and, you know, what you should be feeling. Look at how beautiful. Oh, I'm going to pick some of those up, I think, on the way home. So yeah, she has all kinds of workouts for beginners and well-experienced yogis. And I used to do yoga at least once a week before the pandemic, and that was at a studio. And then so I had not done yoga since, and boy, oh boy, I tell you, do I ever notice a difference from not doing it. So I'm doing it every other day. So if I'm walking one day, I will do yoga the next day, because I do need to get in better shape or prepare my body for running season. My running season is only in the warm weather months because I am too much of a suck to run in the cooler weather. It's Yonge Boulevard. And I had a couple errands to do up there, so I thought I would take you on my walking journey. And let's explore Yonge Street together. So tomorrow, my husband is getting a rented rotor tiller, and we are starting to roller till a weed patch. Used to be a flower bed, but it's a weed patch in our backyard. We need to get proper soil in there, so we need to roller till and dig, and then bring in new soil, and then plant some perennials and maybe a few annuals. But I do want to get some peony bushes and maybe some lavender. Oh, look at those so cool socks with the raccoons. I need a pair of those. So we're going to be busy this weekend digging. I did mention in my last video that, or one of my last videos, that we decided to dig up that patch, which I think is like 15 feet, if not more. 15 feet long and probably 3 feet wide. That is currently filled with dead weeds. And yeah, we thought we'd do it ourselves. See how we do. So we just need to uplift that soil, bring in some proper soil. So the soil there right now is like clay. It just suffocates anything trying to grow. So let's hope it's not, at least I hope it's not going to be too cold to be doing that. But I'm sort of looking forward to that. Making one with the soil. I do really enjoy this stretch of Yonge Street. In the summer, I tended to come up here a lot. It's very active in the summer months. Even during our first summer of COVID, this patch of Yonge Street was still pretty busy with pedestrian shoppers, because there was that short time that we had the ability to shop in store. When did that start? I think that started in June or July maybe, and then I think it stopped in October. But I know the summer, for the most part, it was easy to go into some of these shops. Let's hope that we can get back to that sooner rather than later. Here we are at Blythewood Road. Now across the way there where the camera is angling, you can see a Domino's signage, that corner right there. I think there was some controversy or something around the naming, because I think it used to be called Domino's Pizza. But you'll notice it just says Domino's. And I think there was something about the naming of Domino's. And I think it was once called Domino's Pizza, if I'm not mistaken. And anyhow, something is triggering in my brain about that. So it is a bit overcast. I'm not sure if it's supposed to snow later today or not. I didn't check that out when I was looking at the forecast. Because I was going to go out regardless, but I'm trying to take my camera with me on whether I'm going to record or not, because something might inspire me to record, even if I have no intention. So I like to carry it with me. So I think Yonge Street is still the longest street in the world. Or maybe that's just North America. And I think that has to do with the fact that it's named Yonge Street from where it starts and ends. Now across the street, that white house-like structure, that building, that used to be a veterinarian office. They've relocated further south on the west side of the street. So that's been vacant for quite a while now. I think that is such a pretty apartment entrance. I really like that. I did a video, at the beginning of my YouTubing. So I think in February, I did a video walking down Yonge Street. I did a walk through Lawrence Park and then came out on Yonge Street and then walked from Lawrence to Eglinton. But I used a chest mount to hold my camera, and that chest mount, although it was much more convenient than using a handheld, using this gimbal, just because with a chest mount your hands are free, but the visual wasn't that great. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because maybe because we didn't put it on right, I'm not sure, but it never really looked that good. And I couldn't, what I mean by that is I couldn't angle the camera, like turn the camera comfortably. I had to turn my whole body. And the audio, even if we used a microphone separate from the GoPro, it just always came out really muffled and garbled. So we had to tank that idea. So I did several videos thinking maybe to keep the footage minus the audio, but it just didn't seem feasible. I didn't like it, actually. I didn't like didn't like it, so we dumped all of those videos. And I made several videos with the chestnut. Live and learn. I used to work at Yonge and York Mills, and I used to walk home. I lived between Davisville and Eglinton, and I used to walk home from there, and it would take me about an hour to get home. So it was a really nice walk at the end of a hectic day. I didn't walk to work because I would usually be at work about 7:30 in the morning, and I didn't really have the time to walk to work, but I walked home. And the only time I would take the subway home from work would be if my husband would be home to feed the dog. So I would have to take the subway home then to feed our little pupster. Now here we are at Lawrence Park. The lawn bowling and croquet club rather is down that way. And here is Alexander Muir Memorial Gardens. It's nice in there. I'll wait until the summer and we'll head in there. It'll be nice to be filming once spring really hits and all the trees and flowers are blooming. And of course in the summer when everything is in full bloom, it'll be so nice to come in here. Look around. This is one of the entrances. That corner there, where you see those, it's that white container, that empty plot, that used to be a gas station. I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but there seems to be fewer and fewer gas stations. When I do need gas, I usually we usually go to the one on, what is it, Avenue Road and Chatham Crescent, I think. It's a Petro Canada. There's two actually gas stations. One's at Petro. I can't remember what the one is on the east side, but it's not far from home. It's usually where we go to get gas, but I wonder how long they'll stick around for. So I knew that it was going to snow overnight. So waking up to snow this morning was actually nice to see because it looks so pretty. So I mentioned my husband and I are watching a Netflix series. It's, I think, a docudrama or based on true events. And it's like a true crime thing. And it's called The Serpent. And I think we are on, I think there's 10 episodes. I think we're on episode 5. Yeah, I think we're on episode 5. And we're right into it. about a fellow from Montreal who is accused, I'm not sure, we haven't watched the whole series, is accused of multiple murders. But how he does it is it's sort of like a con man almost. He sort of suckers people in to think he's a nice guy and then turns the screws on them. This happened, I think it was started in the late 70s, I think maybe through the early 80s, not sure, but we'll find out. Anyhow, if you're into true crime, that's inspired by true events, by real events, then you might like this. You know, there's another public library, George H. Locke Public Library, and I hate to admit it, but I have not been utilizing the library since the pandemic. I think I'm becoming a little bit more comfortable with going back to using it, but my library card was used frequently, so I took full advantage, in other words, of our library system. We have some wonderful material, just endless books on areas of interest to many people. I mean, you can get just about anything. Of course, new releases take a long time to come into the library, and then there's always, 20 people ahead of you that want that same book. But I feel that it's worth the wait, and time goes by fairly quickly. I don't really remember waiting more than a couple of months for a book that I wanted to be available for pickup. I'm starting to rethink the idea about using the library, because I do miss it. Here we are at Wallace Avenue. Not too windy. I hope the wind noises aren't too disruptive, because it's pretty windy right now. studio. I think that's new. I don't remember a yoga studio being there. Facility for dogs. I suspect that might be for dogsters that you know, are full of energy or maybe need a little bit of behavior modification. I'm glad to see that there's more and more pet support available for pet owners. Never walked down this street. What is the name of this street? Oh, Blythewood Avenue, Young Lawrence Village. Never walked down that street. I've always come up this way, walked up Yonge, so I walked past it or across it, but I've never walked down it. I should check it out. And Tim Hortons that used to be there is no longer there, right across the street. So the side imprint is still there, but the sign is down. I wonder if that's COVID related. Roslyn Avenue. The Seacourt Animal Hospital has been here for as long as I've been in Toronto. There used to be an Aveda salon, hair products, hair salon right across the street. Looks like they're shut too. Oh, maybe they just moved next door. I wonder. But that looked like a dedicated Aveda salon. I wonder if that was COVID related, a COVID related shutdown. Dollarama here. This used to be a PJ's Pets. I'm glad that no longer exists. It's now a Dollarama. To be wearing a swimsuit again and shorts. I'd like to do that again one day. in this restaurant here, is it shut? No, it's still in operation, even though this building here, you can see, it's called Rice. It's an Asian restaurant. Years ago, that used to be Joy Cherry, a Joy Cherry boutique, clothing boutique for women, and it was a very high-end women's boutique. The clothes were of impeccable quality and at a super high price. So I used to go there with a girlfriend who could afford to shop in there. And 30 years ago, I could not afford to shop in there. But it was fun to see her try on and buy clothes. And I would just daydream. Anyhow, sadly, that store, that shut more than 10 years ago. Those are cute. I love that tie-dye look. Tie-dye was really big in the 70s, I think early 70s, but the mid to latter part of the 70s, at least in my neighborhood, so to speak, my crowd, didn't really wear much tie-dye. It's more of an early 70s. And I don't know if I ever had a piece of tie-dye until my later years. I do love it. I'm so glad it's back. There used to be a really lovely pottery store. I think it was right here where this shop is, I think. It's along here somewhere, and they, I can't remember the name of the store, but anyhow, they had beautiful pottery. A lot of it was Canadian made. And the owners, I think, retired, so the store was shut. But they had some beautiful pieces of pottery, and you know, some of it was really well priced. Now this is an old storefront. Look at that. The way that bay window is constructed. You don't see that today. At least maybe a modern design, but that's not necessarily modern design. Here we are at Teddington Park Avenue. So I did finish up my Eglinton Crosstown Line 5 excursion. I hit all 25 of the new Line 5 stops. That was interesting. It's an area of town I'm not at all really familiar with, so it was good to go there. And right there where it says shared spaces across the street, it says schmooze on the at the top there. On the awnings it says schmooze. That used to be, I think, Wildfire or something. Anyhow, it was a restaurant. It was called Wildfire Restaurant. I wonder what happened to them. It wasn't that long ago either that they were there. Oh. I need some more walking shoes. Yeah, I need a variety of different footwear to wear, because my shoes get really worn out quickly when I wear the same ones day after day. So I need to change them up a bit. So sneakers are the most comfortable, and then I've got some Bloodstones that are comfortable, but they'll be too hot in the summer. After a while they get boring. So here we are at Yonge Boulevard and Yonge Street, and I wish I had a zoom because you can see as where the camera is angling. That's looking north on Yonge, and the skyline is beautiful. That is Yonge and Shepherd neighborhood up there. So folks, thanks very much for joining me. That concludes today's little video. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.